How's your week going, dude?
Good man. I've been playing. I think I've talked about these before. The Yakuza Like a Dragon games.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So I finished playing. So they have. Did I explain this? No, I explained this to Max last week. So the series has four different things going on. They have the original mainline series, which their eighth game is coming out next month.
Love it.
They have remasters of everything that was on PS2 and PS3 in like this, not the latest gen, but the second to most recent gen of their engine, their game engine. And so they remaster all those games and re-release those, plus games that weren't translated into English originally and brought to the US. Then they have their Kiwami remakes, which are like upscaled remakes of the original games, more than just remasters, like built from the ground up. And then they have the Judgment series, which is an offshoot series using the same assets, set in the same world, but not like overlapping stories. And so I just put, I think, 80 hours into one of their remasters. Actually, the first time it was localized in the US, put 80 hours into that, and then I just put 40 hours into their latest game, which is actually a fifth category of game, a mini game, like bigger than a DLC, smaller than a full game, like side game or sidequel, I guess. I just put 40 hours into that and got the platinum on that today, but I'm just playing the shit out of these games.
Your love and knowledge for the Yakuza series is astounding.
There's one guy on GameFAQs.com,
Yeah.
Cyric Z, who writes all the guides that I use as a resource, and he's at least above me, but yes, I am in love with the series.
Welcome in, Merry Mox-MAS. It's the Moxstars podcast, If You Nasty. I'm Evan Kunai, one of your hosts, and I'm here with Christopher Ritter.
You warned me about the ho-ho-hos. You did not warn me about MOX-MAS If You Nasty, but you know what? We've gotten this far. Let's keep going.
He's in it. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. If you'd like to support us, you can do so by finding us on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more notifications. Find us on all major podcasting platforms. You can give us a 5-star review. Makes us look super duper cool. If you'd like to join and participate in our community, you can do so by joining the Discord server, the Moxstars community Discord server, where we are having a plethora of conversation about tournament results, decks, brewing, and, well, something that I particularly love, Dr. Pepper, because this is the best podcast, the number one podcast on the internet for Magic the Gathering and Dr. Pepper.
Undisputed kings of both those things.
Undisputed. That is correct. You can also support the show by becoming a supporter on Patreon. A huge shout out to all of our patrons. So thank you for supporting the show. Everything that you guys have done to support us so far has led to a very exciting announcement. We have tokens on the way. The tokens that we've been sort of hinting at for the past few months. Everything, all the support that you guys have been giving us, we use that to push it towards tokens. So we're going to get those tokens in soon, have them in our hands, and when we do, we'll have them ready to distribute to you guys. So look forward to that. We'll have more information on that when they get here. Looks like they're going to be here in the first week of the new year. So that's very exciting. That is staggering news. I'm so excited to see these in person.
I mean, they're going to fucking roll. What else is there to say?
I also got them foil on front and foil on back. So double foil.
Ooh, back foiling.
Back.
That's rare.
Yeah. They had a few a few different options. I could have got this thing as a metal card, but it was
okay.
You had to get 55 minimum, and it was a lot. So if you guys really want
next time for the treasure token, super premium, pay pig level Patreon subscribers.
We will put
get
that
metal
tier
tokens.
on there for $400 a month. If we get one person, we can buy them.
Okay.
That's the thing, right?
That's the challenge. Is
There
one
we
person
go.
out there brave enough to take the next step forward in token technology and get metal tokens, which function exactly as your cardboard tokens. But here's the difference. Are you listening, Evan? Because this is important. Between the metal tokens and the cardboard tokens, the difference is the metal tokens are much more expensive.
And you can hurt somebody with them.
They're
deadly.
Yeah.
They're actual deadly throwing stars as well.
You can hurt people with regular playing cards.
I was just gonna say, if you are that ninja out there in the world who can throw cards and have them stick into drywall, just
what about Remy Ledoux from the X-Men Gambit?
I've never even heard his name before. That's
I don't think I pronounced it correctly. And in fact, I ate my words when I was saying it. And then it's also Cajun. So there's no way, even if I was speaking clearly, that I said it correctly.
I just love the accent they give him every time they try to portray him. It's just slop. It is pure slop. But that being said, metal cards are dangerous. If you would like to support us in getting some metal tokens, reach out to us personally. We'll figure it out. And on to the show. We are... we have one very exciting, maybe not exciting announcement. We're going to take a little holiday break. I am flying home to Wisconsin to spend some time with family. So the week between Christmas and New Year's, we're going to be taking this next week off, and we'll be back on the following Friday. Ritter, you got any holiday plans? Are you going to take that week off too?
So I was telling you before the episode that I just put over the past couple of weeks 120 hours into 2 games from the Yakuza franchise, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna start Yakuza Kiwami 2 and maybe put another 80 hours into it. So they got Infinite Wealth coming out in January. It's my favorite game series. I talked about it extensively before the episode.
I love that. Yes, I'll make sure to make that the little blurb before we start the show. So if you're listening to this part, you've already heard it. One thing we're going to talk.
A treat?
Yeah. Oh, it was a treat. One thing.
I mean, people learn so much about the Yakuza franchise.
If you're this far, you already know every single edition of the Yakuza franchise just by listening to the pre-action of this show.
Well, actually, that's not true. I left something out.
Oh? Enlighten us?
Well, you know that I'm a huge Fist of the North Star fan.
Oh, of course.
They released a Fist of the North Star video game that uses the engine from the game. And although it's not a good Yakuza game, it is a kick-ass Fist of the North Star game. So if you like Fist of the North Star, check it out. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise on PS4 and PS5. I believe it's also on Xbox Game Pass. I'm not being paid by the studio.
Well, if you have plenty of time off for the holidays, make sure you get, what was it called again?
Fist of the North Star? What game was I recommending? Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise.
Get your hands on that and get some gaming in. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, do you have any video gaming planned?
Ooh, funny thing is that I am a huge fan of the Horizon series. So like Horizon
Zero Dawn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Horizon Zero. Yeah, that's confusing because I said, someone at work, I said, I'm a huge fan of the Horizon series. And they're like, oh, I love Forza. And I'm like, no, robot dinosaurs. That's what I like.
Yes, that aligns with your interests.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, get on it. It's one of the best games ever made, ever. Full stop.
It's like an open world, 1,000 markers on the map, and you go just solve them all.
Yeah, it's the only game in my life that I've platinumed, and I
okay.
literally did everything. I shot every single machine with an arrow, and that I did that. So
hell yeah, congratulations.
that is an amazing game, but so here's the funny thing is that I started playing Horizon Forbidden West when it came out. This was when the PS5 was like hard to get your hands on, and my brother got one. If you're listening, William, there's a huge shout out. So when I was at home last time and I actually got to sit down and play, I got about halfway through Horizon Forbidden West, and I had taken, well, as we all know, the PS5 is now a few years old. I took a few years off, or a couple years off, and I just picked it up again because it went on sale. So I had to play through the first half of the game, which I had already done. And I am at the same exact spot that I was, and I'm leaving to go home. So I'm going to go back to his PS5, maybe potentially finish the game there, and then have to come back and face the reality of finishing the game so that I can have the trophies on my PlayStation.
Wait, do you have PlayStation Plus? I think you can upload cloud data on saves.
Ooh, I am too much of a Neanderthal to understand what that means.
Okay, I mean you can share save files between consoles.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah,
I might look into that. We'll see. I do have PlayStation Plus, but I don't have any like premium version of it. Oh. Anyway, this is a Magic the Gathering podcast accompanied by Dr. Pepper. Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but we might get there.
Eventually. It's a Magic the Gathering podcast.
Yeah. The cool thing about Magic is that it happens all year round. And we've had a lot of really great things happen to us as Magic players in the year 2023. So we just wanted to quick talk about, our favorite set from 2023. And I think we universally agree. Y'all can leave a comment you can leave a comment on the YouTube video or reach out to us on the Discord server if you disagree. But I think we're in a collective agreement, Ritter, that the Lord of the Rings set just surpassed every expectation and was our favorite set from the year.
Yeah, I mean, that shit rolled. It was great. It was great lore wise. It was great flavor wise. Cool cards, impactful cards in multiple formats. Fun to play, fun to open. Like it just hit on every cylinder.
Right.
Like great commander decks. Even some like high powered commander potential.
Yeah, the thing is that I lost in a CDH game. I lost to I think Sauron, like the
Sauron the Dark Lord, the one that when the ring tempts you, you can discard your hand and draw 4 cards.
Yes, I've lost.
And it's a great commander. I actually have that built. I have yet to play it. But yeah, I built that deck. It rules. I love Sauron the Dark Lord. It's a great card. I would you haven't seen really a lot of tournament results with it. I have seen it in some listings, not high ranking results, but I think there's space for fine tuning there. Like if you love the flavor and you want to just like go competitive with it, I think there's potential.
Totally. And if there's a Grixis deck that I ever do play, I think that's the one that I actually want to play the most. It just, it has so much value just built in. The ward cost is nearly impossible to pay.
Sacrifice a legendary artifact or creature, I think, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. So sack your commander or sack a Mox Opal, are your options, or the One Ring if you have it out. And I would be totally okay if someone sacked their One Ring to just have the opportunity to attack or to target Sauron. But here's the thing. You're playing Grixis. You have a ton of interaction. Please sacrifice your thing, pay the cost so that I can interact after that point. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
great card.
Grixis is the evil color combination. Sauron is the Dark Lord. Like it's a full-on flavor when playing that commander.
I want them to eventually...
You feel like Sauron.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And you have access to the One Ring. You can play it and just be almighty. I want them to actually flip that perspective. I would like to see them make Grixis the hero colors for a while and then make Gruul just the the nasty, evil, villain, chaotic colors. That would be sick.
I think we're going to see that. I mean, they do play with colors, the color pie doing non-traditional things like in that way recently. Like if they have a good lore reason to do it, they'll do it.
Right.
And we're entering uncharted Vorthos territory, right, in Magic right now.
Totally.
So it's possible we might see it.
There's a lot coming down the pipe. We don't really know what direction they're going. The only people who do are people like Gavin Verhey, who talk in cryptic riddles, and we can't quite decipher them, or he's very careful about what he says.
Yes, creature type, Sphinx.
Yeah. Yep. That is, yes. To describe him, yes. So Lord of the Rings absolutely hit. I think before Lord of the Rings even dropped, I was like, and when it was announced, I was like, as long as it doesn't have any cards that contribute to the game, I think that it's fine and it's vacuum and it's whatever. But I was totally proven wrong. Like,
No, man, make this Universes Beyond stuff contribute to the game, because it's gonna happen. But as long as it's happening, it may as well be beneficial to the game. So
yeah. And well, obviously the two best cards from the year, if you listen to our previous episode, which I'll put in the link below, and it's like our top 10 cards of 2023. The top two are literally from this set. It's like,
I would say in the top 5 cards of the 2020s.
Yes.
So
yeah, I can't even think of a
that
card
level of impact. Orcish Bowmaster in the One Ring, that level of impact on the game from a Universes Beyond set. That's pretty unprecedented.
Totally. And I can't even think of another card right off the top of my head that surpasses either of those, because Dockside hit in 2019.
Ooh, okay.
So just outside. I guess we do have Fierce Guardianship, Deflecting Slot. Those would be in contention.
Hey, I said top 5. There's room for it. So
there's some wiggle room. Now, best of 2023, a lot to reflect on here, but we're just going to touch on one more thing. Ritter, what do you think your favorite pre-con from the year was?
You know what? I didn't really purchase many pre-cons except for the Lord of the Rings pre-cons, and I didn't play them that much. I do like that Sam and Frodo pair. I think there's still potential there for a food-focused combo deck. Maybe not competitively, but at high powered and definitely at high levels of fun. So for me, I forget what that one's called, but it's the Sam and Frodo precon.
Yeah, this is your favorite. So no pressure to be like, pick one you've never even played or never even seen before. This, like, the Sam and Frodo deck, from what I understand, has a pretty big following. Like, anyone who's played it has enjoyed it fully. It's a fun
I've
deck.
seen people even go to tournaments with it. So
right, food is actually, that's the one thing from Lord of the Rings that I think has changed the most, is that food became viable, and then with Wilds of Eldraine hitting, we saw even more
it's
support.
the combination of those two.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff. I think Samwise Gamgee coming out from just like the base Lord of the Rings set was really great for that as well. Provided some combos with old Eldraine cards like Cauldron Familiar to, actually present a competitive edge and make food viable, which is, I never thought that would happen. I thought they were trying to do that with Modern Horizons 2 with Asmaranda. I said the name. That one.
That one, yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing really food centric about that deck.
No.
I mean, that's a red herring.
Yeah. I would say for me, the precon that really sort of stuck out the most, and it started to get my attention about a month or two after it released, but it's that colorless Eldrazi precon from Commander Masters. And the reason,
yes.
Yeah, the reason that it absolutely stands out now.
Koldak, or what's the card name?
Ooh, gosh. I'm caught in a pickle. Oh, God. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's a deck. And for all of you who play it, curse thee, because it is good. I think there's been this
we played against it at MagicCon.
Yeah, I played against it at MagicCon, and then I also played against it at Laughing Dragon's 1-year anniversary. So I got to see it at a competitive level, actually sit out, stall the board, generate tons of mana, and then explode. And well, here's the thing. It had interaction, which I was not expecting. So they printed a lot of really great cards into the colorless pool that made this viable. Obviously, there are a lot of artifacts out there that are great. You obviously get the One Ring addition to this. But I was just surprised because for a long time, it's been hard to build colorless. And if you were doing it, you were probably doing it for the 32 color like challenge, or you were just a glutton for punishment because the decks were so inconsistent. You could pretty much only play Kozilek to draw 4 cards, or pray and hope that Ulamog would get you there. So this having stimulating effects like the double cascade thing for casting anything 7 or greater as just like allows you to gain card advantage in a new way. I think it is, while we've seen like doubling effects be overplayed, right? This accompanied with also with Wilds of Eldraine, because you get Roaming Throne, makes for a really explosive, powerful strategy that I just was not expecting, and gives colorless a new identity moving forward. So if they ever want to do something like this again, or print more legendary creatures as colorless creatures, I think they obviously know what they're doing as far as like scaling it up to what is the current atmosphere for EDH and Commander in the world right now. They also had the secondary Commander, which was really good, which was the XX as its mana cost. But I can't quite remember what its effect is. But also I've seen people brew around that, and that's why it is my favorite precon, because it ultimately shook up my expectations for colorless commanders and proved that they can be viable, and they now have a new platform to stand on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the space is, you just got to find something that's not big mana and colorless, right?
Yeah, it has something more than just that. It's a single identity, and you have to also be able to, like, as you see decks that have more and more colors, they have more and more access to different strategies, to different lines, and being as a colorless deck, you almost are like forced to walk a particular line to get where you need to go, where those other decks have a little more flexibility. This deck introduced a lot more flexibility to the colorless pool, where if you were in any color, right, it wouldn't make sense for you to run those cards. But since you're in colorless, those cards actually help like quite a bit. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Now that we're done with 2023, we have to look forward, because 2024 is just on the horizon, and there is a lot coming down the pipe, but we're only concerned about the immediate. In the immediate, we're going to see Ravnica Remastered, released on January 12th, 2024. We've seen quite a few cards spoiled from this already. You're going to get tons of new shock lands, like new versions of those. You get old border, standard border, and an extended borderless version. You're also getting reprints of Cyclonic Rift and a few other Commander staples that I think are going to like allow this set to be successful. Where
I mean, to the extent Dominaria Remaster was successful, it was a few chase cards.
Exactly. Now, and that's where I'm curious, is like they've had a lot of really great cards in Ravnica that have contributed to like some of the most memorable standard experiences, or like standard like metas. And there are a lot of cards that have contributed to Commander over the years. I just wonder if they've aged out too far. Like Prime Speaker Zagana used to be an incredible card, but now that we've seen card draw that doesn't rely on +1/+1 counters or the number of creatures come into play like as more efficient options, it's just a commander or a card that used to be $10 plus is probably, just without even looking, less than $1. So we'll see what they put those types of cards at as far as rarity, but we're going to see Niv Mizzet come back. Hopefully we get a reprint of Perun, maybe with a new artwork, since that is seemingly the most popular version of Niv Mizzet. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they throw into this. And the thing I'm most excited for, and I think you are too, is the fact that shocks will be approachable from a financial angle.
Yeah, what are shocks hanging out at right now?
They're at about
15 to 20.
Yeah,
depending.
they're about 13 to 16, depending on which one you want.
Okay.
So
yeah, where and the prime territory there would be 10 or less, right?
Yeah, I think you're going to see it launch because this will probably be pretty heavily opened. The speculation will be that shocks can never drop below 10. They will, and I'm guessing they'll probably be around $6 to $10 at release, or maybe a couple weeks after. So there.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, just printing these things into the ground is going to make a dent in that price. You know.
And it's
and over the long term, it has happened. Like, you know, there were certain shocks that were around 30 even a couple years ago. So
totally, I think that when we saw like Ravnica Allegiance come out, we hadn't seen Shocklands printed in a long time, and so they were up there in the $15 to $20 range when it was reprinted. I remember opening a few packs and just being like, I got a shock, let's go. And thinking I made my money back, obviously, or like these are good investments. But, even when Unfinity came out, there was this, I don't know, financial expectation for Shocklands that is outdated at this point. It's just they're not worth that much anymore because they should be printing them into the ground. And at this point, with what we've seen from Unfinity and now from Ravnica Remastered, they are getting reprinted into the ground so that they hopefully stay at $10 or less for the foreseeable future. And
I mean, the power level of that card is kept in check by you losing 2 life for it to come into play untapped. Don't need there to be a financial barrier for people to have access to them as well. Like it's not that type of situation. Shocklands should be like dirt cheap and accessible to everyone.
Right. In any other format outside of Commander, it's 10% of your life. Like it's not something that you're wanting to hit yourself with over and over again. You do it for the flexibility, obviously. But I guess one Shieldred trigger does offset that. But I'm excited to see it because I'm excited to see what the aftermath of that ends up being financially for the game. Hopefully what we see, because I actually just went to Mox last night for a little Commander night just to see, what Elevir could do. I found a table that was willing to entertain it. And, people play more board wipes than I'm used to.
Gotcha.
But the deck did start popping until I met a damnation.
Well, you got to keep that clever concealment.
Yeah.
Got to make sure you have it in hand.
Yep. And I'm not sure whether or not I need to be running more stuff like that or not. But, you live and you learn. I'll bring it to the next table and really figure out, is this, is it competitive, or am I just like playing to the meta that I'm accustomed to? So I did go, but the thing is that I played against a lot of new players, and they were lacking in mana base. Like their mana base, was pretty weak, and I was like, "Oh, do you guys have Shocklands, anything like that?" And
gotta get those Shocklands cheaper.
Yeah, they were just not willing to pay for them. So yeah, I want them cheaper, 100%, just for the growing player base. They need to see that. Anyway. Right after that, we have Murders at Karlov Manor. We've seen a few cards spoiled from this and this releases on February 9th, alongside a huge shift in product and how it's going to be distributed in the future, which everyone should be aware of. We're being introduced to play boosters alongside Murders at Karlov Manor. So the Wizards of the Coast has stated, alongside the release of Murders at Karlov Manor, Wizards of the Coast is implementing a massive change to the product roster. Known as Play Boosters, this revolutionary new product is replacing both set boosters and draft boosters. Thanks to this monumental change, Play Boosters are going to affect how you both play and collect MTG going forward. Yes, that is a lot to wrap my head around.
Yeah, I mean, they just chopped up the product again. I don't think it's a significant difference to the gaming end. You know, I mean, maybe in terms of like if you're a person that enjoys doing drafts and things like that, it affects you. But overall, it's just like it feels like every new set or every new major set release, they're just changing what types of packs there are. And
Yeah,
this is just the latest churn of this.
This to me looks like I have deviled eggs, and I'm like, wow, these are not well, they're not moving as fast as I'd like. So I take them out and I chop them up and I mix them in a bowl, and now I have egg salad, and I make sandwiches out of it, and here we go. Everyone likes egg salad sandwiches, right? You like egg salad sandwiches, right? Right, Ritter?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, sure. And then the set after this, there's going to be 2 different new types of packs, and we're going to phase out these boosters and whatever. You know, I'm not super invested in the formatting. I think, you know, we shouldn't be opening packs anyway.
Right. The funny thing is that someone just said Roaming Throne is like it's like $30 or $40. And I'm like, well, you know, if you try really, really hard, it's about 16 cents. It can be. And that is by going to the FedEx print shop and printing out a copy of it and putting it in front of a common or some card you just don't care about.
There you go.
Yep. That was what I did just this last week. That's how I got Elevere up and running. Otherwise, the deck would have cost me, let's see, get that number accurate. Woo, $6,001.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a significant discount, right?
Yeah. So if you were looking to test a deck, have always been and always will be encouragers of proxies. It's just the way to go if you're, trying to be financially sound and responsible with a game that has also the nickname of being cardboard crack. So
yes, it's a game built around being financially irresponsible. So
yes,
take care of yourself.
100%, especially in the new year. New year, new me. And new me is financially responsible when it comes to Magic the Gathering.
There you go.
Yeah, this is going to shake up a few things, especially like pre-release, which makes me wonder if that format will still sort of exist, how long it will exist after this is implemented, and what kind of pre-release packs are we going to see? Are we still getting pre-release foils? I felt like they did a huge disservice to the entire product by just printing the year stamp and not doing the actual date. I really liked the date.
See, I'm the opposite. I think the year stamp is a lot of a cleaner look.
Yeah, I can see that it is definitely like cleaner. I felt like there were some pre-releases I went to where like having the date on it commemorated a very specific point in time. So yeah, to each their own. It is a cleaner look. I think I liked my Esper Sentinel more because it had that nice little stamp on it. But as you go into your holiday break, you're going to find that, well, everybody's out of town and that people are just at home with their families, and you might find it very challenging to stay engaged with the game, but fret not. There are ways to stay engaged. You can, we have a couple suggestions. The first, you can hop on Arena because Arena will be popping over the next
Arena's
10
always
days.
there for you.
Yes. Arena,
whether it's supporting you or bringing you down is up for debate, but it is always there.
Mostly the bringing down part.
Yeah. That is my relationship to it.
Yeah, it's like you struggle so hard to like climb the ladder. I did find a really cool new tool today. It's called untapped.gg.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, a great tool for analyzing the meta on Arena and building decks that have greater success in different ranks as you climb the ladder. So like if you're in...
Oh, man, that is, for people that don't play Arena, that is the thing, right? There's not like, so you're not playing the standard meta. You can't like look at tournament results and things like that. You're literally playing a meta that's based on your ranking, and then because of the algorithm, the matchmaking algorithm, the meta dependent is is also dependent on the deck you're playing.
Totally.
It is so janky.
Yeah, it is weird how they've come up with how matchmaking is very strange on Arena. If you're experienced with it, you know this. The thing about this service, it can be a service on untapped.gg, is that you can download their tool, which will overlay and integrate with Arena, so that there were a few things I was seeing with it, like when you draw a card, it shows you all the cards that you've already seen, and then it says there's a list of the cards that are in your deck, and it shows you the percentage chance of drawing that card next. It's kind of a really cool tool to be I'm starting to see statistics in action live on my screen. You can also, it also lists every single card your opponent has played against you so far. So if there's anything that you've seen, or if something got shuffled back into the library and you forgot about it, this little list is there to show you. So there are so many more little doodads, and there's so much information that they are able to overlay onto the screen without being intrusive that will help you become a better Arena Magic player.
Yeah, if you're interested in climbing the ladder, definitely I think it's a necessary tool, even because, like I said, just the meta is so janky and so specific to what's going on, and that your opponent on the other side of the screen, as you climb the ladder, is using the same tool. You're putting yourself at a competitive disadvantage not using it.
Right. And while Arena is great, and it can sometimes bring you down if you get in the blues by playing too much Arena, you climb the ladder but you're not seeing much success, you can always turn to your trusty friends on the PDX CDH server on Discord, or the CDH server on Discord. You can also find casual games and pretty much any power level of game on the Tolarian Community College Discord server hosted by the professor, which is honestly, I think it's the biggest Magic Discord server in the world.
Have you been jamming a lot of Spell Table lately, or no?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. Guy did reach out and just asked if I would be up for more, and I was like, honestly, yes. I just need to put it on the calendar, and I'll be there for it. So it's something I'm looking forward to doing more, because I'm switching my line of work. And so hopefully, the new line of work leaves me with a little bit more willpower. As we all know, is a finite resource. Hopefully I have a little bit more willpower at the end of the day, and can focus on playing more games and becoming a better Magic player and a better content creator.
Oh, yeah.
So those are a few options for you if you'd like to stay engaged throughout the holiday break. Also, if you're traveling to see family and friends, obviously make sure you do your due diligence and spend appropriate time with family. But I'm sure that you have friends back home or wherever you're from that also play Magic. You'd be surprised at how widespread Magic has become.
Yeah, it's also easy to get room in your backpack or your bag for 4 pre-cons or something like that, even if they don't have the cards themselves. As long as they know how to play, it's a great way to kill time.
Totally.
Yeah.
And if you are a last-second shopper like I am, hello, there's also a few Moxstars gift ideas for the stocking stuffer. I have been thinking about this a lot because I have, neglected my present shopping duties. And I think that putting 3 packs, you can do, this is like a draft for the family or draft for your group of friends that they are not expecting, but you can get 3 packs for each person. It can be chaos, whatever you want to do. I recommend just doing all 3 Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, because that set was awesome, or all 3 Lord of the Rings, and putting them in the stocking, maybe a few dice. I know some people out there who are crazy dice collectors, and just hitting them with some odd dice from honestly Ravnica Allegiance would probably be a sweet gift for them. Yeah. And
no, that's great. My wife and I aren't doing gifts for each other this year. We decided to just do stockings, and she was asking what are good stocking stuffers. And I said just packs, and she asked what kind of packs from what sets, and I was just like, whatever packs. If someone plays Magic, they just enjoy opening packs. They don't like buying packs. They don't like spending money on them.
Yep.
But opening any pack of Magic cards, one of the best things you can do.
It's definitely, you definitely get a little bit of serotonin, you know, like there's definitely a little bit of something that happens in your brain that you get a high. You get a little bit of high.
I think it's the equivalent of like a lotto scratch off ticket, right?
Yes.
Like you're giving them probably even worse odds on hitting the jackpot, but
and you're spending
they're
more
still getting
for
that little boost of like, ooh, what might happen? That little gamble. So.
Right. Oh, nuts. I got a quarter rare. I think serotonin's probably the wrong word for that, but you know what? We're going to rock with it.
One of those chemicals in our brains.
That's the one. But yeah, like I think that there's also a smell that comes along Magic cards that once you rip it open, you just stick your nose in there, and the fresh manufactured plastic smell is also a rush of dopamine.
Oh yeah, that chaff stank.
It's nice. I love it. You can also, I think that if you're able to afford it, get your stocking stuffers, Gen 1 Pokemon cards, like a first set, base set edition for $3,000 a piece, is also a great stocking stuffer. That will take them right back to 1997.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. I knew I was full of great ideas.
If you have a budget, recreate the childhood packs.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe a pack of base set or Legend of Blue Eyes Yu-Gi-Oh cards, something like that.
Okay. Honestly, if someone got me a booster box of Fallen Empires, an absolute dog shit set, I wouldn't care. I would love it still. Like that.
Yeah.
That's like the second set I opened. So I would get right back to my childhood.
Totally, like Amonkhet. There's not really a lot that's valuable in there anymore, but it's one of the first sets that when I got back into Magic that I opened, and so it would definitely like have that like special place in my heart. I think that we did pretty good work here for the holiday. We're popping off right now, Ritter. I hope you know that. Like I feel it.
Is this the Discord? We're popping off.
Yes. I do have one closing thing that is not even Magic related at all, and I didn't know this until this morning, but I figured I'd bring it up.
What's up?
Did you know that in the Beyblade canon, Jesus parted the Red Sea with a Beyblade?
I mean, I was raised in the church, so of course I know all about the gospel of Jesus and the Beyblade.
And on the seventh day, he said, "Let it rip." Yeah, that I just found that out today.
Interesting.
And there's a picture. There's an image of him ripping a Beyblade into the sea and parting it. Just like it is unbelievable. I love that happened.
There is a wiki hole that people can go down. You can search for Japanese Jesus.
Ooh.
I think at the turn of the 19th century, there was a guy who just claimed he was just the reincarnation of Jesus. Look it up on Wikipedia. Interesting story.
That's a good read for the holiday. All right. Ritter, let's get the heck out of here.
Okay.
Let's go have a great holiday break. We will see, or you will see us on the other side of it. We're going to take a week off, if you didn't catch that earlier in the show, and spend a bunch of time either playing Magic or playing Yakuza franchise games.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I didn't say that properly, and you
no, it's fine. It's
okay.
Whatever.
Sweet.
Yeah. Remy LeBlue.
That's perfect. All right, Ritter. We kicked some ass today. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so by finding us on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more notifications. You can also find us on all major podcasting platforms. Give us 5 stars because it makes us look super cool and helps new people find the show. You can join the Discord community server, where we'll be having a ton of conversation over the holiday break just about, well, what kind of stocking stuffers did you get? Hopefully it's 3 packs of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty or Lord of the Rings. And you can support the show by finding us on Patreon. There's a link down in the description below. You can become a supporter, join that coveted Pepperhead tier, and have your name turned Dr. Pepper Red on our Discord community server. You get access to 2 exclusive channels, the Dr. Pepper channel and the Shower Thoughts channel. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters thus far. You have made the dream of 1, podcasting, and 2, having our own tokens possible. So huge shout out to all of you. Thank you so much. And
yeah, I am so excited to see these things in person.
Yeah, foil front and back. And a huge shout out to our buddy at Death Milk Designs, Eli, for making it happen for us. He helped design all of these, and they are so sick. All right. Happy holidays, Ritter.
Happy holidays, happy New Year, man.
And I'll see you when we get back. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Sweet
Looking
deal.
forward to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you for supporting us in 2023. We'll see you next year. Bye-bye.
Deuces.